Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you all to the Rushil Decor Q1 FY22 earnings conference call hosted by Asian Market Securities. From the management side, we have Mr. Vipulbhai Vora, CFO. I request Vipulbhai to take us through the Q1 financials, post which we shall open the floor for question and answer. Over to you, Vipulbhai. Thank you.
Okay, Karan, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rushil Decor Limited's earnings conference call for the first quarter ended June 30th of the financial year 21-22. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude to you all for taking the time to join us today. On the call with me today is B. Jayar, our investor relations team also. Rushil Decor Limited was incorporated in 1993 and has been in this industry for over 25 years and currently having the fourth generation involved in the business. The business is divided into three segments, namely laminates, MDF and PVC, amongst one of the largest players in the laminate industry and third largest manufacturer of MDF board. Under laminates, we manufacture single-sided decorative as well as double-sided industrial laminates with a wide range of designs, colors and finishing spread across three manufacturing plants located at Gujarat with capacity of 34.92 lakh sheets per annum. As for MDF boards, we manufacture thin and thick boards and prelam boards with thickness ranging from 2 mm to 30 mm. Manufacturing facility for MDF boards is at Chikmagalur, Karnataka with capacity of 300 cubic meter per day or 90,000 cubic meter per day per annum. Recently, a second and new manufacturing facility for MDF has commenced its operations from March 21 at Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, having installed capacity of 800 cubic meter per day or 240,000 CBM per annum. This new facility has added a strategic location advantage as it is set up in southern India, which is one of the prominent markets for MDF and closer to southern port, making it easier to facilitate exports. The company has over 120 of its own unique marketing platform under brand V Studio across country, displaying entire product range at one location. It is like a showroom or display center where it showcases all its products at a single location. Apart from these, we also create brand awareness through advertisements, marketing networks like dealers, distributors, branch offices, etc. So from an overall business perspective, that is all. Now we'll take you through financial performance of the company for the first quarter ended 30th June 21, following which we will be happy to respond to your queries. In Q1 FY21, our company has achieved net revenue of 90.99 crore with a year-on-year growth of 85.43% from 49.07 crores in the same quarter last year. This is mainly due to substantial increase in sales of laminates and MDF boards. It also includes additional sales from new facility at Vizag. EBITDA stood at 1.51 crore in Q1 FY22, increase of 11.88% as compared to rupees 1.35 crore in Q1 FY21. Our EBITDA margin stood at 1.65%. The net profit for Q1 FY22 is negative 7.64 crores as compared to negative 3.53 crores in Q1 FY21. The company recently commenced operations at AP plant, leading to higher costs, which will gradually taper down with increasing utilization. Our EPS in Q1 FY22 stood at negative 3.81. I think everybody has received the investor presentation today, and that is also exhaustive. And now you can ask all questions on my the company's financial results. I'll be happy to reply all the questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session.
Yes.
Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Nikhil Reja from Edelweiss Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity. I have a couple of questions. Your presentation is a detailed one. Thanks a lot for that. I just wanted to understand what is the difference between utilization of your old MDF plant as well as new MDF plant. Also, what are the sales in both these businesses, and what's the percentage of exports that you're doing?
Thank you very much. See, as far as the old plant is concerned, it is operating nearly on 80 to 85% capacity. And new plant is operating from June onward at about 50% capacity. As far as the export for MDF it is concerned, you can say the percentage-wise, perhaps it may be very meager right now. About 2 crores export has taken place from AP.
Okay, that means it's not a significant proportion of the sales.
Yeah, not significant. You just see, question is that unit has started in the month of March. April, May was quite sluggish. COVID pandemic and 80% lockdown in the country is quite known to all. So
right.
Operations were very low. Hence, I don't think that there was any possibility of doing any exports also. But as far as MDF is concerned, we will always concentrate majority to sell in the local market, except my legal obligation to do export, as we have availed EPCG facilities for importing the machineries for this project. I need to do export of at least 30 to 40 crores per annum.
Right. Sir, another question is, what sort of margins are you making on both these plants right now? And are we already, break even, or we are close to break even in the new plant?
New plant now we are close to break even. As we have reached to the 50% capacity, from this July onwards we'll be working above BEP.
Okay. And your presentation also mentions that your target utilization, expected for FY22 is 50%. If I'm not wrong, earlier that was around 60%, right? Is it the impact of COVID? The demand and everything is... Yeah.
Just see, question is that as far as up till last month, machinery was operating. We made this plant operating in the month of March, and because of the COVID impact in April, German engineers had gone back. So whatever the operations they were making from Germany, but by now, I think by now, June end or by beginning July, they have made this plant operating on 100% basis, sitting in Germany itself, and now we'll be gradually taking up further capacities, increase in operations.
Oh, okay, got that. So sorry, but last one from my end. What is the pricing? Is there any pricing difference between both the plants? Where does your pricing stand versus imported prices? Because we can just throw in some numbers there.
As long as my knowledge is there, I think the pricing is, realization per cubic meter is little higher than the earlier year. See, if earlier year it was around 19,000, right now it is 19,800, 900.
And that's same for both the plants?
Yeah. Now, right now the billing is being done that way only. The plant-wise pricing is not different.
Oh, okay. And what about the imported prices at the current point?
Imported price, maybe we need to look at the global pricing. I don't have much statistics taken. I'm just collecting the figures and I will let you know. And you can ask me anytime. You are in touch, no?
Yeah. Sure, we do that.
I'll ask my persons, those who have done these transactions, what is the realized value. So I'll give you the correct figures.
Sure. Thanks a lot, and all the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Krishna from Vihas Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for the opportunity. Good evening to you, sir. So actually, I'm very much, your company really has a lot of potential, and actually, I would say that, good luck to you for, for the next few years, because I see that, the company has got a good potential to do well in the future. So now coming to this, MDF, so the new plant MDF, so you are saying that right now the capacity utilization is at 100% from, say, last couple of months. So whether this will continue or how do you foresee the next maybe say a few months in terms of demand as well as supply? So how can we consider it?
Gentlemen, see, let me clarify. Right now in June and July, plant is operated nearly about 49 to 50%, only maximum 50% it is operation till June and July.
Yes.
Machinery capacity, the judgment from the manufacturer side to prove that these machinery can run on 100% capacity on a daily basis, that they have proved by operating machines, not necessarily I have produced 100%. I'm sorry, I do not want to communicate that we have operated on 100%, but now we can go beyond 50%. We can operate this plant on a higher scale also.
Correct. I got your point, sir. Thanks for the clarification. But how do we, we may be gradually trying to take it to say from 50 to 60 to 70, or we would like to stabilize, how does it work?
No. We will definitely, we are interested in further increasing the scale of operations, and the scale of operations should go in near future to 70 to 80%. But 70% will be there at least up till March 22.
Correct. So it will, we are taking it slowly and gradually, and we will be slow.
The thing is that machinery manufacturers are from Germany. Right now, their local team is available to us, but the experienced engineers are not available because of the COVID in India. So we have to depend on our staff to operate the machineries, and we do not want to make any hurry or compromise on machinery side, because if something happens, then we are nowhere, because the travel restrictions are such whereby the persons may not come, then we will be stuck.
Correct. So what you're saying is that our engineers from here, along with the online support, we are able to slowly put it produce.
We gear up the capacity utilizations, because that is in the interest of the company, because only scale of operations will make the bottom line profitability positive, no?
Correct. Yes. And now next is this PVC and this other two, because because of the MDF, the focus in terms of PVC sheets and the other one. So is there any plans for growth in those two, laminates and PVC, or because those industries are also actually quite growing, considering the Indian scenario from the next couple of years?
Yeah. See, PVC, we have hired the top class experts on PVC in our plant right now. So we are foreseeing that the business and scale of operations will increase. The demand also should increase. Now the market is opening up from post July onwards. Market is opening, so we are also foreseeing that there should be enough demand, and we should be catering to the more demand of these PVC boards. We will be operating these PVC machines on a higher scales.
Okay, so right now, what is the capacity utilization of the PVC machinery, approximately?
I think on an average it was 10 to 14%, as narrated in this presentation. Up till now, the operations was very low. Now we will be gearing up the operations, and we will be doing good in PVC also.
Okay, so that's great. And the laminates part?
Laminates part, it is going on. There is no issue. Laminates part operations are on the, at least you can say that it should be in the range of about 80% operations.
Okay, so then do you foresee any, because laminates as such itself is a very big industry, so do you foresee any capacity addition or any P2B manufacturing kind? Because I think a company of your stature, you can do well in the laminates industry as well. So of course you are doing well, but is there any plan?
No. In near future, see, question is that project after project, see, till the time this new plant of Vizag is being stabilized and settled, we do not want to do any new venture.
Correct.
And the capacity of 80 to 90% operation is enough. That's called saturation. See, sometimes of these 10% we have to keep room because there is a compulsory closure because of the boiler inspection. 3 plants are there, so 3 boilers, 4 to 6 presses are there. So somewhere some maintenance is already ongoing. So basically that to operate on a 100% capacity, I don't think in MDF like situations machinery is totally imported and totally automatic. Whereas in laminates, local machineries are being put to use, and those machineries, I don't think that we should go beyond above 90% capacity on operation because that will make difficult to operate and maintain.
Okay. So because the capacity utilization is almost, say, then if it is 90%, it is near about we can consider full only. Yeah. So is there is there any plan of putting up some doing some contract manufacturing or because we can increase the turnover here, right? Because the demand is, or is there a constraint from the demand side?
No. There's no constraint in demand side. See, lot many players, those who are in peers in my field is they are also working very hard, and everybody does a large volume of this business locally also. See, if you look at my statistics, my laminate business is the export is to the tune of on an average, if you go 5 to 10 years back story, it is more than 60% is always the export in laminate. So 40% is in domestic area. In domestic area, there is a very, very good potential in India also.
Correct. So you will be. So is there any expansion plans or like
in near future we are not looking into the any expansion in laminates. We may add some one or couple of places, but not immediately. Till the time we need to settle that Vizag, and thereafter on its settling, we may think of something to add in laminates.
Oh, very good. And this German, so as far as our reading in the news, so things are, getting a little bit better, right? So is there any chance that they may allow the engineers to come and or do you foresee that it will take longer, considering that the COVID situation?
No, if the situation becomes normal, perhaps we may call them also here. But the thing is that sitting there also, they managed to make it operative. Whatsoever the rectification corrections were to be made, that they have done.
Okay.
So they are always on toes, and continuously they are available on these internet also they are operative. So I don't think that now physical presence is required because plant has become totally 100% operative.
Okay. So this 50%, so we can, on a baseline scenario, you foresee that this 50% capacity utilization in the new plant we will continue. That will be the baseline, right? Right now.
50 is the lowest. Now we'll have to scale up. 50 we will have to increase gradually to 60 to 70% right now.
And the old plant in MDF, which is of 200 CBM, right? So that we are operating at?
It is 300 cubic meter.
300 CBM. So 300, that we are operating at more higher capacity, right?
80-85% capacity we are operating always.
Okay. So that's all from my side, sir. Good luck to you, and thank you very much for enlightening us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shrenik Bachawal from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, I wanted to understand how is the current demand scenario shaping up? Like, how is the July and August performance been? And is it back to normal levels, or how close we are to normal levels?
Up till June, it was under pressure. July, August, it has taken up the same level YOY on a last year basis also. You can say that now in July, August, we do not foresee any pressure on the business because the demand is full, and the business is also what we have done is as compared to the earlier year also, it will be on year-on-year basis. It's equivalent to the last year figures.
Sure, sir. And sir, how much of our revenue is coming from West India? And as Greenply has announced their new plant, once the plant is operational after say 1.5 to 2 years, what do you think will be the impact on the industry and us as a company?
See, Greenply has announced their plan in Gujarat, particularly near Baroda.
Yeah.
That's good. It's welcoming, but as far as we are concerned, our both plants are located in South India, and my major model cell, you can say, the about 60-70% cell is in South India only. And if you see the western part, it could be around 10% of my total capacity I may be selling in western side. So we don't foresee any problem by additional capacity coming in this industry. If you look at right now also, after introducing adding new capacity from our side, we are maintaining, we are sustaining our market as it is, because if you look at the realizable price in the industry, I think no peers are in a position to beat us.
Sure, sir. And so do you think there is a risk of MDF imports coming back over the few coming quarters, not maybe in the next 2-3 months, but thinking of more longer term, do you think that the risk of MDF imports coming back to India is a risk as the export prices soften?
Gentlemen, I don't think that is going to be possible right now, because the thing is that the logistic cost itself is very high right now. The question is that container also is not available at the old rates. So if anybody is importing these MDF from overseas, it will be their landing cost will be more than what cost they are paying in India. So I don't think that because see, as far as these MDF machineries are concerned, worldwide it is one and the same. It's all German technology everywhere. So you get the same output what you are getting outside, and if you are that same material is available at a landing cost lesser than or as compared to your landing cost, I don't think that any import will be beneficial.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking, sir. Over the longer term, maybe 2-3 quarters down the line, once the export prices soften and ocean freight rates are not sustainable at these levels, so once that comes down, do you think that MDF imports can come back to India?
No. Because the thing is that the importer will have to bear the inventory carrying cost.
Okay.
See, all importers are buying in a bulk. See, if they are buying from me, they will be buying 5-10 trucks load. Whereas when they are importing, they are importing 100 containers.
Yes.
So having that much inventory, then the interest amount and quantum, I don't think that in any Indian currency, if you are importing, it will be beneficial to them.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Harsha, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is on the realization. So I can, as for the presentation, our realization in Q1 has shot up to 24,000, 25,000 approximately, as compared to 19,000 last year. So what is the sustainability of these numbers going ahead?
See, numbers, it is as far as our company's policy is concerned, that number we'll have to maintain, and if that pricing what you are saying, if that is the value, we will be maintaining that way only. There is no question of going down.
Okay. So along with that, we see that the gross margins have also fallen down, gone up. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
so the raw material prices have not shot up. So is this also sustainable?
Yeah, it is sustainable. The question is that what you are seeing is the comparison from the quarter on quarter. So quarter 21, quarter 22.
Correct.
First quarter 21, you see the lockdown scenario at that time, there was total lockdown. Whereas
Correct.
this time it was not a total lockdown. See, the industry was permitted to operate. So your business, except in Karnataka, plants were in a position to operate. If people were coming to the plant was operating. So production has continued, and even wherever the material is possible to transport, if available, then business was being done, but it was at a very low level. And in low level of business, what happens is, though the realization is good, but your fixed expenses are more, then it will turn out to be as a company as a whole, it will turn out to be a negative bottom line.
Okay, sir. So you mean to say that this 24,000 realization will be maintained and we will not come back to the 20,000 realization level which was there in the previous year?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, and in the other expenses, we have seen a significant jump there. So what is the reason for that? They've gone up to around, say, 36 crores versus 15 crores on a year-on-year basis and 27 crores on a Q-on-Q basis.
See, question is that in this quarter, the new plant has become operative.
Okay.
Till the time it was not operative, certain expenditure like interest, depreciation, all those sort of the expenditures which was capitalized, now it is coming to the revenue head.
Okay, so you mean to say
large project has come into operation. So
correct.
question is that till the time my top line is not improving, prior to that I need to have all these expenditure on continuous basis. My electricity bill, my staff salary, everything will continue to be paid, no?
Okay, so
either
will be around 35-36 crores only, or will it increase?
No, hitherto I was spending that amount, but it was being capitalized.
Okay.
So now it will come to my revenue account, and it will continue to have revenue account. Only thing is that my top line should increase.
Okay. And another thing, there was an inventory built up in quarter one. So have we been able to sell the inventory in quarter two?
Yes, why not? In inventory, we are in a position to unload it in the market.
Okay. So currently we're operating at 50% utilization. So once we increase this utilization to say 60-70%, will we require more debt? And if yes, what is the debt level?
Debt is not required more. We will not be increasing any debt in the company, because the question is that as far as the debt is concerned, it is all a long-term debt.
Okay, so we won't require working capital debt anymore.
No. We are running on optimum capacity, and we have enough of financing on the working capital side, and we do not foresee any incremental financing required there.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That was helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ishrat Khatri from Omkara Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. So I have two questions.
Yes, ask me. No problem.
The participant has left the queue. May I request him to please rejoin the queue by pressing star and 1. Ishrat Khatri, please go ahead with the question.
Yeah. So the realization we've seen, like you mentioned, it's much higher than the peers. So any specific reason why our realization per CBM in Q1 was over 24,000 rupees?
That's right. Let me go ahead where you are talking about, so that I can also reply properly.
Hello?
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just looking into the presentation, because the question is straight away from presentation, no?
Yeah, right.
Madam, can you tell me which page you are looking at?
No, I'm talking about the realization per CBM for you. It was about 20.
I understand your question. I'm just asking you that.
It's on page 28. You mentioned that realization per CBM for MDF was about 24,700 rupees. And Q1 last year was about 18,200, and FY21 overall was somewhere about 21,000. Right, so we've seen a spike despite adding significant capacities, right? So just wanted to understand, is it because of excess demand? Because you mentioned there's no exports happening, plus Q1 obviously demand was under pressure because of the lockdown. So what led to an increase in the realization per CBM?
Yeah. See, question is that as far as what you are looking at is the figures what we have shown is a segmental realizations. So it is in totality what we have realized there in MDF business. It's a consolidated clubbed Chikmagalur and Vizag unit both combined. So aggregate amount 24,741 into the multiplied by the CBM sold is my top line for MDF sales.
Correct. I understand that. Just wanted to understand what drove the growth.
Just I wanted to bring your notice. Go into the sales volume on the upper chart. Q1 FY22.
Mm-hmm.
Laminate, MDF, PVC. There we have shown you the numbers and what we have realized. No, I think that's the sales volume. Okay, no problem. No, the question is that it's a gross value combo of all. See, now what has happened is we sell these MDF of different thicknesses and different sizes also. So combination, so first CBM calculation, what we are realizing is correct figure, and these we need to maintain.
Okay, so you are saying 24,000 approximate realization per CBM is what we are expecting to maintain, right?
Yeah.
So based on that, if you say that the additional capacity that we've added of about 800 CBM per day is expected to run at about 50% utilizations this year, right? Annual average.
Right now running at 50%, it is to be increased.
Right. So on a minimum basis, you said 50-55%, right? So even if we be conservative at 50%, so you are expecting another 300 to 320 crores of additional revenue this year itself from the MDF business?
Yeah.
Okay, that is almost like we are doubling our top line
as
compared to last year. Okay, great. And what about any clarity on the margin front? Because obviously now I understand it's a new unit. Reason why our margins are under pressure. But overall, in the long term, once we achieve 60-70% utilizations on the new plant on a sustainable basis, what are the EBITDA margins that we expect for the MDF business?
See, right now it is on an average 13% EBITDA. If we go on a scale of operation, higher scale of operation, it will increase. If we go on about 60-70% operations, the EBITDA could be jumped to 13 to at least 15 to 16%.
Okay, great. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Aniket Redkar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, sir. First question is about the MDF. What would be the market size of the MDF segment in which we are right now, and how is it growing?
It's growing. See, it's a plywood substitution. It's acceptable as because if plywood is costing you 1,000 rupees, this MDF will be costing you about 50 to 60%. So far, if 1,000 rupees the board is available at 500, 600 rupees, carpenters and the consumer will be definitely interested in using this MDF board.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So the demand in any case it is going to be there because the ready-made furniture sellers just like IKEA, if they open up in the Indian market, then its requirement is very high.
Okay. Okay. So, sir, related to this, the earlier question which is asked by someone that the Greenply is foreign to MDF business in the Western market.
Yes.
So we are having the laminates units in Gujarat.
Correct.
Yeah. So how do you see the MDF plant in the Western market? Because they are saying like no one is there as compared to us. Like.
Yeah, they are right. I don't say that there is anybody in presence in Gujarat right now. They are absolutely right in making a statement that they are coming in Gujarat. They must have done some survey or some sort of study in selecting the site. Green, see, if you look at the green, has been demerged and the various laminate, ply, and this panel. These 3 units are being bifurcated. Now they are coming with MDF. They are already there in north and the south. Now coming in west.
So do we see any opportunity over there? I mean,
we don't foresee that in Gujarat it will be easy to do it, but they must have done their own study because see, wherever we have gone in proximity of the raw material availability.
Okay.
See, our funda is different. We do survey, we do further studies, and we find out the location whereby it is beneficial to us.
Okay, sir. So, who all are our major top 3 competitors?
One is Green Panel.
Okay.
Then second one is Balaji Action.
Okay.
Third one, if you say we are in number 3, then Rushil is in MDF number 3, and fourth one is Century. They also come into this, and one more is CD.
Sorry, sir.
CD Industries.
CD Industry. Okay. So, how do you see ourselves after 3 to 5 years down the line?
The business will be situation that we started somewhere, this Karnataka unit of MDF in 2011. So up till 21, now we are settled there. And we foresee that this business will grow further. In spite whatsoever the capacity comes into the country, that will make, ultimately it is going to eat away plywood share.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, sir. Got it.
Thank you.
So, sir, one last question related to the other segment. Are we fully utilized? And if yes, then what are our plans for those segments like laminate, PVC?
PVC is unutilized. PVC we are exploring now possibility of further additional production. Laminate we are in a full capacity utilization.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohan Mehta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Just a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Sir, in terms of our new plant, by when can we expect the capacity to be completely utilized, or what is the current utilization for the new plant, and what kind of additional revenue has it contributed so far?
See, as long as the new plant is concerned right now, in June, July, it has operated. If I go on precisely telling you, it's about 49% capacity utilization in both the months, June and July. August month end we'll come to know what percentage has been utilized. Revenue side, if you look at my figures for these up till June, only 13 crores were added from MDF side. in a new project.
Okay. So, sir, as the utilization gets to a better optimal level, so will it benefit our overall EBITDA margins?
Of course, see, on a scale of operations gain, we'll be increasing EBITDA, and bottom line will be bottom will turn out to be positive.
Okay, sir. Okay. And so just last one question I had. Overall, what the current working capital cycle stands at right now?
Working capital cycle in MDF is about 45 days.
Okay. And overall would be approximately?
Overall, if you laminate is 90 to 120 days. So laminate is a old business, and people have a habit of in the domestic market, and export market it's of hardly 60 to 90 days. So each market segment wise working capital cycle is different.
Different, right? Understood, sir. All right. Thank you, sir. I just had these questions. If I have more, I'll join and all the best.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parvez Sarian, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Good to speak to you.
Good evening.
Sir, I'd like to know how is the health of the MD who has resigned due to health problems. I hope he is doing okay.
Sorry to say that person, that gentleman has left this world on 25th of August. Yesterday we had a obituary meetings in Ahmedabad. He was 70. He had been his age had been 78 years. So we are very sorry. Thank you very much for asking this question. I was about to take these in my opening remarks, but the thing is that I thought let me answer the questions rather than taking people into that era. He has already left this world.
Sorry, sir. Very sorry, and my sympathies to the family, and I'm sure you also would be close to him. So please accept our condolences, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, based on this, I'm sure his son would be also in mourning at this time. So I don't think we can expect too much of him.
Yeah, that's why I'm the only person attending this call. Otherwise, he's always he is joining with Karan, knows it very well. We are always available, and because of that only he is not available right now. Otherwise, market-related questions I do not need to reply.
In view of this, sir, is Karan going to be taking over the reins and running the company now? And
Yeah. See, young generation has joined. He was already there, and he was looking into all this project development. But now he'll have to look into. He'll have to have take more responsibility of the company.
So if I may add to this, it's Chavli. Rushil, Rupesh Bhai's son, has already been inducted into the business. Now, of course, he'll have to accelerate and work harder and faster to take the company to the next level along with his father. So the succession plan is very much in place.
Very good. Good to hear that. And God bless him, and hope he does well. I'm sure he will. It's always good to have the new generation come in with more zest and zeal to take things forward. And with the background and experience of his father and coaching and leadership of his father, I'm sure that's a part of his business acumen. Good. Sir, just one other thing I just wanted to get some clarity is that if production or capacity of MDF goes to 60 to 70, 80%, you said that the EBITDA margins would increase. Did you say 15 to 16%, or did you say 50 to 60%?
No. 50, 60, sir, it is impossible. If you look at our statistics, we are very conservative. You look at the presentation also and look at our working also. We work on a cutthroat competition way. There cannot be 50-60% realization. Then, sir, year on year, I will have a new project. 50-60%.
So at this time you said it was 30%.
13. No. It was 13 and
13%.
Yeah, and it can increase to about 3% more EBITDA in case of higher scale of operations, sir.
Okay. So from 13%, you're talking about 15 to 16%.
Yeah, naturally, sir. Because of the growth of, see what happens. Fixed cost is for the person amongst larger volume, no?
Yes.
So that is the calculation. It's a pure arithmetic, sir.
Yeah, got it. Great. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir. Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Naitik Modi from OHM Portfolio. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity and my condolences on the MD's demise. Sorry to hear that. My question is pertaining to, again, on the margins, sir, because I believe the largest player, Greenpanel, is operating at higher margins, even though their realization is lower than yours. So logically, shouldn't your margins at higher utilization be higher and not at 15-16%?
No. Situation is that as far as our realization is considered, our realizations are lower in industry throughout the time. But as far as the what we are talking, Greenpanel, if you are talking,
right.
You see the last year, their history, when first year of operation, they were operating hardly on 30-35% capacity throughout the year.
Right.
So they were incurring major losses. If you look at the first quarter, post starting of the business, post COD, there were huge losses. So similar situation is with us also. The losses is because of the plant being operated on a very low capacity. In turn, you have a very low realization in top line. And your all expenditures are there on the car.
Right.
So naturally, till the time, it's all scale of operations gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we operate on much higher level of operation, if we produce more, then we can sell more. And if we sell more, then all expenditures are being absorbed.
Okay. So, if you can give me a sense of what will be our gross margins in the MDF business and what is our broader fixed cost component here in the MDF business?
See, I tell you right now, my fixed cost on a fingertip I can calculate is my interest, my depreciation, my salary to staff, my electricity bill. These four are my fixed cost.
Right.
So these four costs are to be met with. Even if I do not operate, these costs are there.
Right.
So these costs are to be met with. Broadly, situation is that about 1.25 crore is the interest, about 2 crore is the depreciation per month, about 50-60 lakhs is a salary package of that particular plant, and what is left out? Electricity. Electricity bill is of about couple of crores.
Okay.
So that is constant.
Right. So my question was more on what are the gross margins in this business, sir?
Yeah, it's at 13%. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I meant more like sales minus your raw material cost.
That also, if you calculate it, can add up about 6-7% more.
Okay, so gross margin about 20%.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of, again, coming back to imports, apart considering that, let's say the logistics cost normalize, what other risks do you see in terms of could there be a lot of import influx of MDF which could affect the whole demand supply scenario in our country?
I don't think so, because the thing is that as far as the landing cost is concerned, if similar item, if I import and it is at the extra cost, I don't think that in Indian market, as everyone is adding that capacity, So they will have a price realization better by importing. It's impossible, except if I am importing from a captive use, that is just possible. But if I have to trade in, they will not succeed.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Karan Bhatia from Asian Market Securities.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, Karan, bol.
Sir, we know that Century Ply, Green Ply, and Green Panel, all three are going ahead with the capacity expansion, brownfield plus greenfield. But if we talk of other players like Action, Shirdi, Mangalam, Pioneer, Crossbond, are you hearing the capacity expansion from their end as well?
No. Only what we have heard is latest is Green Ply.
Right.
Century has also today only.
Right.
I have read that in somewhere in AP, the place name I have forgotten. So that they have settled that I think the Blackstone is being available over there. That's what my marketing guy was telling me. They are coming up now. Earlier place was not decided, but today it has come that Kapara, what was his name? Something. In the morning, he told me that they are coming up in AP. That is final.
Correct. Right.
So
and sir, just wanted to understand what could be the sustainable growth for this industry for a long term.
See, Karan, this is high capital intensive industry. So, any case, it's because of high capital to be invested in the project, the interest cost will be there till the time it is not repaid out of the project. So, as far as interest and your investment ROI is not met with, till the time project is not sustainable. But going ahead with higher operations and with the proper planning, everyone will succeed because as compared to the plywood market overall in the India, this is going to be a very, very smaller portion. It will be hardly 10-20% of the plywood market share.
Right.
Further plywood market will be eaten away by MDF.
Correct.
So capacity will not disturb any existing player.
Correct. Yes, that's it from my end. Operator, any follow-ups?
So we don't have anyone in the question.
Thank you very much.
Vipul, any closing comments you want to make?
Just a minute. Yes. I thank the entire team of Rushil Deco for their untiring efforts, hard work, sincerity, and high dedication. I thank Karan Bhatia of MSEC also for arranging this call, and I thank this Bridge IR for arranging these my investor relationship with all these participants on call to have call on today, and we'll continue to have meetings as planned by them, and thank you all.
Thank you, Vipul bhai.
Thank you.
With this, we conclude the call. Thank you for joining.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.